those cheeks. They're so chubby.
Okay, so a while ago, someone asked me to do a video about this Turkish cartoon called Gupi. I was like, dude, I don't even speak Turkish. How the heck am I supposed to watch this? Well, it turns out it has an English dub. So, I don't have an excuse. And if you try to turn this into a sub versus dub argument, I'm gonna come through the screen and do some strange things to you. It was created by Gupse Özay, who, it turns out, is a trailblazing actress, comedian, director, and writer in her country. And she also voices the titular character, Gupi, who seems to be a fictionalized kid version of herself. No shade to the person who recommended it, but it just kinda caught me off guard. It was after my video blew up about the show that shall not be named, and it's kinda funny to think someone saw that and went, you know what, I'm gonna recommend a Turkish kids cartoon.
What?
But I'm open-minded, let's go. With all the crap I've watched on this channel, I could use something simple and wholesome. Yin and yang. Just one more thing before we get started. I'm fully aware that when consuming media from other cultures, there are likely to be things that I simply don't get. So this will be my experience as an outsider looking in. I don't know jack about Turkey. Unless we're talking about the bird. The bird is delicious. First things first, the intro song is catchy as heck.
I'm Gupi Gupi, yeah. I see it or I walk in.
The basic premise of the show is as follows. You got this girl named Gupi whose family just moved into a new apartment, and she's not at all happy about it. She's quite the vibrant character, as we're shown pretty early. She's assertive, outgoing, and kinda has an attitude sometimes. She just crashes into these people's lives like an uncontrollable meteor of mild chaos. She also becomes fast friends with the other kids and takes it upon herself to give them all nicknames. There's Betal, who she calls Beto, Serenai, who she calls Seppi, and Pamir, who she calls Poppy. I have no idea why she felt compelled to do this, but it's pretty cute. Also, Gupi is actually the one who brings this friend group together. Yeah, it turns out the other three never even met each other before, despite living in the same building. They all seem to be exceptionally sheltered too, so much so that she has to show them how to play football. Football, it's in the name. You foot the ball.
Stupid.
There are 8 episodes in total, and while they vary a little bit in length, they hover between 12 and 14 minutes. You could watch the whole show in like an hour 15, even less if you skip the credits. That's shorter than your average movie. While I don't think I get the show's humor, which I attribute to cultural differences, it usually makes me laugh anyway just because of how offbeat it is.
That makes me sad. Can you tell by my face?
Come to think of it, while we're on the subject, there's also this scene from the very first episode, Did You Throw This Ball at My Head? And no, I'm not trying to be funny, that's actually the title. They're all very matter-of-fact like this, you gotta love it. Anyway, Gupi talks to this old couple and becomes enamored with how chubby their cheeks are. Okay, chubby cheeks, sure, that's cute. Random, but cute. Then she's like, yo, can I pinch them? And they're like, oh, okay, sure, like... What is this? I don't even know what to make of this, dude. Is that like a normal thing in Turkey? Alright. By the way, this girl is freaking Hulk strong, look at this. Or She-Hulk strong, I guess. Yeah, I know it's a cartoon, shut up. The voice casts all do a good job in my opinion.
We're trying to find a lost pastry smell.
Paint is all you'll smell in here, the smell of art.
Again, I'm watching the English dub, so I can't really comment on how it compares to the original as far as performances, but there's actually something interesting to discuss here. Gupse Özay is the only cast member to record in both languages.
Ne tabletmiş ya? Hadi bahçedeki solucanlara park yapacağız.
Why always a tablet? Let's go build a park for worms outside.
So we've got all these characters who just straight up sound American.
All right, I'll just do this last lap.
And then the main character who has an accent.
Can it stay tonight? I'll take it in the morning.
I don't think it detracts from the show. In fact, I appreciate it. I think it lends authenticity. If nothing else, it reminds me of Dexter's Lab, and that's pretty cool. Just something worth taking note of because of, well, how noticeable it is, honestly. Also, it seems that Ms. Özay technically voices multiple characters. You see, in episode 5, The Cat and the Chubby Couple, it's revealed that Gupi is Dr. freaking Doolittle. She can talk to animals.
I'm not ready to make a decision.
Okay, no, she's actually just using her imagination, but it's funnier to pretend she just straight up has a superpower, so I'm going with that. Also, look at this adorable tortoise wearing a tutu. Doesn't connect to anything I was saying, I just really wanted to show you. You know what, while I'm talking about random quirks, this lady says she baked raisin and walnut cookies. I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen a green raisin or walnut. Golden raisins start out green, but they end up, well, golden. You could have just said they're pistachios. Pistachios actually have a place in Turkish culture. Turkish pistachios are literally a thing. It would have made perfect sense. They're green. And no, this wasn't a localization issue. The cookies are the same in the original. Whatever. Speaking of localization though, the dialogue stays essentially the same, just with alterations in the phrasing. Gupse is credited as the show's only writer, and with that being the case, she does a solid job of Americanizing the dialogue, especially considering, she's not American. Now let's talk a little bit more about our protagonist here. Put simply, this girl is kind of a menace. Don't get me wrong, I like her as a character. I always say there's good weird and bad weird, and in my opinion, she's definitely weird in the good way. She's curious, energetic, and overall pretty extra, but her actions are never malicious. It's also pretty interesting how she more or less never really learns anything. I guess you could argue she learns about making the most of her surroundings, but when it comes down to it, she kind of just barges in and does whatever she wants. In fact, now that I think of it, it's like she just doesn't really have inhibitions. She, lets the intrusive thoughts win or whatever. The art style is pretty standard for 3D animation. Nothing mind-blowing, but it looks good. It's got that slightly choppy appearance that resembles claymation. Reminds me of early to mid-2000s Pixar. And also that one Grubhub ad.
Just a little bit.
Like I said, it looks good, it's just kinda generic, but I guess that's not really a big deal. One last thing I can think to mention is the musical numbers. I'd say it's pretty standard for what you can expect out of a kids show, but just like the intro theme, the songs are always catchy, like literally just about every single one.
Your pastry smells good. Everybody loves it when your pastry smells good.
All in all, I found this show to be quite endearing. I think it could be classified as a feel-good show. It's very cute, colorful, and innocent. What more can I say? It's obviously meant for a younger audience, so if you've got little cousins or siblings or kids of your own, I'd recommend it. If there's truly a through line or overall message to pull from this show, I think it's basically don't be afraid to be outgoing. That you can find your tribe, so to speak. Those who matter, those who don't, you know what I'm trying to say. From what I could find, this is one of only a few Turkish cartoon series to hit Netflix, so if this video has spurred any interest for you to check it out, I definitely oblige you to.